Well, hello everybody, welcome. We'll go ahead and start this clan war. We're going to spawn directly on top of VP.wonkman. It's going to be the red Protoss in the bottom of the map. We can see his opponent up in the top. iP.me for the win. Very strong Terran players. We're going to have a nice PvT on our hands on MLG Metalopolis. Which is definitely going to be a good map to have this take place on. Very strong macro map. Both these players are highly ranked. I don't really think I've ever really watched Wonkman play, but he plays in a ton of tournaments, Zotac Cups, all those other places. He streams on TL. Me for the win, I actually laddered against a really long time ago, and I still remember the game because it was a very cool game. I ended up winning. It was in like caverns, and I think I went for like a Colossi Phoenix combination of units, and just harassed him and got everything. And then he was very frustrated with that. But still, it's a fun note to actually have me casting him now. I don't know if he actually remembers that game or not, but it's just a fun thing to take note of the fact that I've actually played one of these players, because that makes me feel like I actually have skill in the game. So that's a nice thing for me personally. But now we're going to see the barracks getting thrown down. If you take a look at Wonkman, he's just going to go ahead and get up his gateway. And earlier today, I've actually seen a lot of PvT today because I casted a best of 5 between Cloud and White Raw earlier today that I'm going to have uploaded to YouTube, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So it's just fun to take a look at this matchup and just see that I've already watched 5 games of it today, and now I get to go ahead and look at it more and have a lot more in-depth sight because I've seen in-depth sight, that makes no sense, but a lot more insight because I've already watched 2 of the best players in the world duke it out. So now, Me for the Win has actually thrown down his refinery, which is perfectly fine. This means there's not going to be a gasless expansion. If you take a look at Wonkman, he could easily go for a 1-gate expand. He's going to throw down his cybernetics core instantaneously after that gateway finishes, which he does. Chrono Boost is being used on this pro, which is a nice way to get his economy going. And you can see that his money's very, very low. Just constantly hitting things to make sure they can get them out ASAP. Always a note of just a solid, efficient player. He's running around with his probe. He's keeping an eye on it. You can see he keeps on getting selected. Nice bit of clicking going on. And we're going to have the first Marine going down. I think his Wonkman did see the gas, which is pretty much all you can hope to see. But there's his second Rax going in. And looks like the probe, it looks like it hasn't taken any real damage. It could theoretically run into its base and look for that add-on. Me for the win, going for this very quick add-on is a nice indicator, and oh, the misclick. Oh, that hurts so much. Wonkman would have been able to pop in and actually see the reactor on top of that Rax. Instead, he takes hits and can't really get up. He actually could still go in. The reactors takes a lot of time to build, and he could still have that window of opportunity to scout, but he's going to choose to instead play it safe. But he's going to miss this 2-Rax build. We're probably see a tech lab or something on top of this barracks next. We can see there the Marines going down. Take a look at the base of Wonkman. He's still not throwing down anything. He'll probably get the expansion up fairly soon next. Probably his next building will be that. See, right now he's just getting out his Stalker very efficiently, and we do see the tech lab going down on top of that barracks. So we're going to have a very strong Marine Marauder push that's designed to shut down a 1-gate expand. We can see the Stalkers are being Chrono Boosted out from Wonkman. He's probably going to go for just the Zealot Stalker expansion because he does have that Zealot all the way across the map, ready to put a little bit of pressure on. He's going to pop in, see that there's this full wall. He's going to move in, probably going to realize that odds are there's a reactor, judging by the fact that he sees all those Marines, but all things considered, he doesn't really have much of a scout. Me for the win has not thrown down any other Vespene geysers. He's getting his concussive shells, and he'll be able to push out with 2 Marauders and a lot of Marines, and it's a very, very strong push, because you can see that Wonkman did go for that 1-gate expand. He's not even getting any other units right now, probably going to try and get out those next 2 gates. We're going to see that Stalker's going to be on the low ground, and we'll have vision now through that 1 Zealot. We have to be careful. Actually, shots the supply depots as opposed to the Marines. But now we have the these 2 Marauders, and you can see that they do have concussive shells, which is pretty cool. For you guys watching, I actually do want feedback on how the fact you can see these bottom red things to make sure you can actually see if you like it or not. I was fiddling around. I thought that might be cool, so please let me know in the stream if you like that or not, or in YouTube if this is getting uploaded to YouTube too. But we'll see. Nexus is there, but we do have warp gates going down, 2nd and 3rd gates, or actually it's a robo going down. I thought it was just automatically be a 2nd and 3rd gate, but there we go, 3-gate robo, with the 2nd gate very far away, which is going to be a very troublesome thing because of this push. There's not going to be that many units for Wonkman to really defend against this push. It's a very, very nice push. He's probably going to need to pull these probes. You can see them pushing forward. There's no SUVs. Just a strong group of units going to go in, target fire the Nexus, and try and push in, and Wonkman might lose this initial Stalker, looks like he won't lose it, but still, a couple of probes are going down. This pylon's going to fall, and this is going to be a very rough spot for Wonkman. He needs to try and pull down units. He does have a proxy pylon down here, but he's going to retreat with the probes. He's going to lose even more of them. The Stalker's on the high ground getting some nice shots off, but you got to be careful. This Nexus is so in danger right now. Me for the win's doing a very nice, simple push that's so difficult for Toss to deal with in this situation. You can see right now Wonkman is so far behind, 39 food to 56. If you take a look in for the win's base, he's got his command center almost done, expanding behind this very efficiently. He's got his factory and just retreating after taking that down. You can see that Wonkman is actually throwing down a garden shield, which kind of screams misclick to me, unless there you go, they're just going to push down the ramp and see no units and just need to probably re-expand or go for some kind of different push. We can see a scan looking at the Robo. There is an Immortal that means that Wonkman could maybe try and counter push, but it probably wouldn't go very well considering that there are all these Marines, there are all these Marauders here ready to go ahead and defend. Me for the win is just such solid position right now. Look at the units lost tab. He's literally lost, was that a Marine or an SUV? Looks like he's lost a single SUV, and that's it, this entire game, as opposed to a Nexus, along with all those units from Wonkman, all those probes and everything. You can see how 6 probes were taken out, and that is a very, very, very bad loss for him to suffer. So now we can see the expansion for Me for the Win will be being thrown down. The bunker is going to be finished well in time of any hope of a push. Wonkman will see all of this. Me for the Win doesn't seem to see the shimmer. He's not going to scan to take that out, but he's moving forward, looking for proxy pylons or trying to get the possibility of a surround or something, but looks like a little hiccup in the SUV transfer is going to go ahead and help Wonkman have a little bit less of a horrible spot that he's going to be in. I find it interesting that Marauders were thrown into the bunker instead of the Marines, when Marines are squishier and have less range, but I guess that's just personal preference for Me for the Win. Also a very weird forward bunker. But the Natural was thrown down by Wonkman. He's got his Robo Bay going down as well to help the robotics facility just be able to get out Colossus. We can see that the units are pulled back on the high ground, interestingly enough. But over here we have a War Prism actually going to go ahead and target fire the Marines. He's actually trying to actually lift off those Zealots in there to do a little bit of damage. But this is actually going to mean that Me for the Win has a full knowledge of what's going to happen. But oh, Wonkman going for a really fast third base. This War Prism will allow him to do some nice bit of harassment, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't invest too much in it. Right now, Me for the Win's got a very nice infrastructure of units, a whole lot of Marines to hit that War Prism, which is still just over here in the top. Not worrying about too much, but there's the Natural expansion finishing very, very easily. The third is actually getting about halfway done. But we do have this Observer here staring at the army. We can see that this War Prism's trying to find a good spot to poke in and attack, but it's got to be really careful. Those slaves are lowered, those units are moving straight forward. We can see that here we're going to have a Viking on the field. That's going to really put a dampener on this harassment. We can see that Wonkman hasn't dropped the second 2 Zealots. He needs to. There we go. Now he's going to make sure that those stay alive. The supply depot may go... No, but it's not going to fall down. We have a few, actually more than a few Marines stimming. A nice solid chunk of 8 Marines will stim, save the supply depot unless it gets... Okay, there we go. 2 SUVs will go and repair that. We have a factory floating in the middle on top of the wolf statue, so I guess just taking an eye on that. Third is now finished for Wonkman. This Observer is still looking at this entire army. Me for the Win doesn't have any upgrades quite yet. Wonkman, we can see him getting at the Colossi. The Robo Base almost halfway done with the Extended Lance, but we do have a nice force of units going down the middle of the map for Me for the Win. A very strong push, and Wonkman, will he be able to see that he sees those units moving down? He's got control of both watchtowers with probes, investing in his... Actually, he's hurting his comp. Look at that, 42 probes versus 49 SUVs. This is not looking good at all for Wonkman. Just that it's so far behind the food count. The early push for Me for the Win was just very, very, very effective. And we can see how all these Marines and Marauders are going to be so deadly. We've got Vikings, Marine support, Medevac support. God, it's my brain is horrible right now. We do have those Colossi, but no Thermal Lance quite yet. We see a big stim going to be pushing in. Nice surround, a big spread from those units. The Colossi without Thermal Lance can be hit by those Marauders really easily. We see this pylon will get targeted down. A lot of units with Thermal Lance is about to complete 2 seconds literally, and then it's done. There we go. Now we're going to see them hit. But they need to pull back. They have the range. They need to have perfect force fields continue to go. But oh, this Nexus is going to go down again. Units are going down. You can see goodbye to the Nexus. The Colossi are still alive. A nice concave from these units down here for me for the win. We see all those pros redirected down to the main, and he could just go ahead and hit the third. He doesn't know about the third yet, but he will, however, take out both of those Colossi. Oh, there's actually another one over here. So Colossi are still alive. The Medivacs are going to go ahead and retreat, but Wonkman still has this third, and me for the win has not scouted that at all quite yet, but the factory is still hanging out above. We see the natural taking once again, and Wonkman is still holding on for dear life. We see the third for me for the win has now completed. The orbital command is almost finished. He hasn't lifted off to bring it to the actual technical third base quite yet, but that capacity to have it is still there. Now we see this factory taking a little bit of damage from those stalkers. They need to get all of them actually hit it, so it actually might die. It's going to the left, which will scout almost nothing that really me for the win isn't already aware of. It's just the gates and the Robo and the Robo Bay that's a tech there, so not exactly a big worry that's not going to be really seen. But the simulators are still here. 48 probes versus 59 SCVs. That is quite bad. 10 probes have been killed so far, which is a little bit of a huge deal, to be honest. And actually, we see the gold taken for the third for me for the win. He's not going to worry about doing the whole, I'm ahead, I'll just get comfortably more ahead. He's going to be like, I'm way ahead, I'm going to go hit the gold and just go for a big push with a ton of Marines or something. A lot of Marauders. Any of those things are definitely a possibility, because this is going to be a huge boost to his economy to be able to get up that gold base. Still, Zealot's going to move forward, probably take the watchtowers. You see one Zealot at both, but without charge, and have a hard time dealing with the ring around the rosy of that Marine. That was actually kind of fun to watch, but still, we can see that these Zealots are going to stare directly as this space gets taken, and all the SCVs get transferred at the perfect time, so making up for that late transfer down there. But actually, a fourth base is going down for me for the win, doing very nice play of the expansions. We can see that more probes are coming down. It's 65 SCVs now to 59 probes. Better for Wonkman, but still, he's only just now working on his first upgrade, getting that attack. You can see that his army is hanging out at the watchtower right now. They are at 0-0, but if you take a look at this, we do have a double engineering bay about to be completed, plus the armory is getting out the ship weapons, or vehicle weapons. Vehicle weapons. There's no vehicles on the map. That might be a misclick, actually. If he went and just like clicked on the bottom right to deal with that, first off, Zealot just goes and dies. But there's no vehicles. The factory, I think I killed it. They can have SCVs actually. Yeah, factory got killed. There's not enough capacity to get a starport or anything quite yet. So that's got to be a misclick. Unless he's going to have a weird transition to Thors or siege tanks or something. I don't know. I'm just noting what he's doing and confused by it. So now, pushing forward, me for the win is going to work on his 1-1. It's almost completed. We can see that Wonkman, his +1 attacks behind the upgrades from me for the win. Oh, death to that observer. When you have all those Vikings and all those Marines, observers will not last long to any. Oh, I should click the Marauders. There we go. Now you have the Marines and those Vikings. It's a lot of units. But I see free shots on all the Colossus. That is unfortunate. You can see one almost going down. Very, very damaged. And all those units being coaxed in to go ahead and attack. Me for the win is basically maxed right now. There are more Colossi going in, but that's not going to go very well. This army is fully here. We don't have very many force fields left, and now we have a nice spread of the bio, hitting all of those Colossi really efficiently. And they're going to go ahead and get killed because there's so little support. We've got the Manor Mules being thrown down. You have the GG by Wonkman, and iP is going to go ahead and take game number 1 in this clan.